Joshua of Applebee's is here to tell us exactly when we'll have the right to see him, exactly when we're going to see the full 100-pound loss. And you know what? The title is not a joke. I think he should try out. I think he should try out for Biggest Loser. I think that he could win. He might have to show himself on camera. That's going to be the problem. But it would probably make him look better than anything else he's done. And it's really surprising to me that we can go from 1 minute, we have the 20-minute rant about how Jesse sucks, about how you can't give him any attention, about how to even merely say his name is going too far. And then within, 2 days, sliding up in the DMs with the full IBM Summit fat body mass calculator, life story, predictions of White House steps, all this crazy stuff. And then he dabs on him at the end, calling him a troon mere, a week after messages from himself were found where he said that he identified as a woman. So, shout out to all my niggas that never been a normal weight. That is the Kiwi Farms class. The Kiwi Farms race is the non-normal weight race, the non-normal weight class. No wonder that thread at the internet is so active. I haven't looked at it in like 4 years until now, just to see what his response to this is. And I'm thinking he's got some Confederates there in that thread. It's getting very therapy like. At least Jesse has his group called Cult. But a little bit of projection there, Josh calling anyone else what's happening a cult when he literally runs one of the most insular websites online, and one of the most insular threads in one of the most insular websites online. But I can't do it alone. I can't cover something like this that's really putting Josh into the running as locale of the year. I posted on Twitter, we got to get those noms in. We got to get some ground game, grassroots. That's the way politics works. It's going to be a tough competition this year. But I think he should at least be on the ballot, but I can't do it alone. And so we're going to have a special guest on tonight. He's kind of a crowd favorite. He's a guy who could not be kept down even by the slings and arrows, mostly unjustly, I think, thrown against him. But I just can't do it alone to really evaluate Josh's pitch here for being on Biggest Loser.
You who they say you play, remember me this night. Please heal me now, bring me alive. Show me how go
got you.
We're back, baby.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Oh man, Josh, he's done it. He's done it again. He's done it
He
again.
couldn't keep a good man down.
In the sector. That's right, baby. Couldn't keep me down. Can't keep a real nigga down.
Exactly. when the Applebee's waiter comes to your table and you ask for the check, you know, you're not looking at the suit. You're looking at you're looking at your bros across the table.
I'm getting those $1 margaritas and chilies,
Yes,
baby.
Yes, the $1. You're seeing double. You're seeing 2 margaritas because you drank 10 of them already.
And I only paid $10.
Exactly.
Let's go.
So
We're so fucking back.
it
What's
is funny
going on with you, big dog? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just so funny, like all the people coming out of the woodwork for this, because it's like I'm serious. Like, I think he deserves to be on the ballot for locality, because this is what, like, the 5th thing this year.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, I said, I believe on Ralph's show that, by all metrics, Josh is the biggest lolcow in the sector. He's a regular lolcow. He's a death fat. He's a horror cow.
Yeah.
He's everything rolled into one.
I have to. Jesse made such a, like. I was serious. I'm not a regular watcher of Pod Awful, not because I like don't like him or anything. I just haven't seen it. But he made a good point in this stream where he says that every time something like this happens with him, everybody on QE Farms is like, "Oh, it's the one funny thing Jesse's ever done." But it's been like that. It's been like that. There's been like 5 of those in like the last 2 years. So at a certain point, it just kind of is the emperor has no clothes. And
well, listen, I'm not going to defend Jesse, but I will agree. Like, I mean, it was a home run stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, like
Just knocked it out.
Yeah, the best setup was him posting the quote about him and his mom in the flamenco thread. And then everybody in the thread being like, "Yeah, that crazy flamenco. Of course you'd say something like that." And it's like, really, guys, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be the autistic Illuminati. Come on, you're supposed to know this shit.
It's fucking over for Josh, man. Like, the guy, he's so retarded. Every time I think like I'm not underestimating Josh. Yeah. I'm underestimating. Yeah. I'm still underestimating him. Overestimating him, excuse me.
He basically, I mean, they came out of the whole KC thread thing mostly, at least for now. These things build up, but like unscathed. And it's like, oh, he's going to get, the whole thing with the Worski and the Snapchats and him being on the same thing, he's going to get away with it or whatever. And then it's just like, today I will post my IBM Summit fat calculator to a guy I just said was a clout chaser 2 days ago.
Well, the thing that I've come to realize is that, actually it's not Worski that's the weak link. It's Josh.
Yeah.
Josh is the weak link. And you were right. It is the second triumvirate because Josh is Lepidus. Like, Josh clearly, he has power. He could wield it, but he chooses to fuck it up every single time. He runs the top doxing website on the internet. And he fucks it up every single time because he just can't handle it. He is not even a Worski tier character.
Well, I'll say this about Worski. For the things that he does do for that show, which is, PayPig management, Joey Beezernomics, stuff like that, he's got it down. Like, he's got that little aspect of it down. And it's only, every couple months where maybe he speaks up a little bit too much and then PPP slaps him down, tells him to shut up, that there's ever really issues. And with the Lepidus thing, it's like, yeah, because, Lepidus was there to basically just grant legitimacy to the real triumvirs. And I feel like that's like his purpose in the whole arrangement is, oh, well, we've got the Kiwi Farms guy on our side. So,
yes.
That means that we're kosher, that we're the ones laughing at people online. They're the cope, we're the coped, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And, the thing is like Josh, I don't even like. I can't even analyze it properly, but it's like he's afraid to. Because like Worski is ruthless. Like he doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
He will fuck over PPP. He will do whatever it takes to stay on top or just stay relevant. You know, stay in the loop. Where it's like Josh, like he's all over the place. He has no like plan really. You know, as we'll see when he's like talking about going to the White House, like, dude, like
that's Sargoni.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, it's like even in like an ideal perfect scenario, like a scenario where the Internet Preservation Society does really well. It writes like an amicus brief, which wouldn't be in Josh's name. It would be in whatever lawyer writes its name. Like even in the most ideal scenario, and it starts to get traction or whatever, the first thing that would happen is he would get pushed out of the like be on the board, because it would just be like, we can't, if this is going to be a real thing, he can't be on the board or whatever. I just don't. And that's like obviously fantastical. Like even that line of thinking is completely fantastical. But even in that case, I don't think it's going to happen. It's like you can either settle into your role as the guy running the most hated website online and just sort of try to keep your sanity and make a living wage, I guess. I mean, that's another thing Jesse brings up, is that there's a money element to it, obviously. Or you can try to save the world and couch it under the concept that you're just doing it to save your website. Is if that makes it look more altruistic.
Yeah, well, Nemo in chat says Josh is Joker. Mr. K is arguing, no, Josh could never be the Joker. Like,
No.
Josh is a man without a plan. Like, he has no, like, the Joker has plans. Like, obviously, it's like he's lying when he says he's a man without a plan. Josh has no idea what the fuck he's doing. You know, Josh like can barely keep his sight up. He's low. Josh is low IQ. Like I'm a midwit. I'll say it. I'll admit it. It is what it is. Josh is even lower than that. Like Josh can't even hit his emotion. Like, well, I won't say his verbal IQ, maybe his emotional IQ, they call it, is like 10. You know, he has no idea how to, like, that's the thing about Worski. That's what makes Worski a caliber above Josh, is because Worski can talk to people. He can manage all these convoluted relationships with these insane internet people. Josh cannot do that because he himself is an insane internet person.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the biggest difference between him and the Joker also is that for everything about the Joker is like secure in what he is. Like the whole movie is him just trying to explain to the audience what he is and why he's okay with it. Whereas DMing this guy who you just talked shit about 2 days ago, all of these personal details, all of yours, does not project security to me. It does not project a guy who's lost 70 pounds and is about to come out as a social butterfly or whatever. It comes across as, this guy's doubting me. I need to prove something to show him, like a chip on my shoulder.
And you know, Jesse was right on the mark. Like he just tore him to pieces. I'm sorry, it's the truth. Some people, you know, like that was so funny at the very end when he mentioned his wife and he was like, "Oh, I just twisted the knife in because that's what Josh wants, but he can never have a wife, children, and he should never have. He should never have children. He's a sick fuck."
Well, and that's one of the things he seemed about in the thread. Like, it was something, I think, just today when he was saying that he wants... here, let me share a screen so you can see what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, let's get into this.
Oh, hold on. I didn't do audio. Sorry. But yeah, even today, he's saying, like, why isn't, you know, people are asking, like, does this guy have a thread? And he's like, if you want him to have a thread, you need to.
Hold on, I'm getting no visual from the Dog Zero cam.
What about now?
Still nothing. Still gray.
Okay, I'll try again. I think I had it the first time, and then I just wanted to turn audio on here.
You're gonna have to turn off the encryption.
The encryption?
Turn off the double VPN.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing. The PC's too locked down in the Dog Zero bunker. Bypass the firewall.
Says I am still
5 has
running.
the 256-bit encryption.
But let me just put this on the screen so the audience can see while we're figuring this out. So he says right here, he's basically complaining about the fact that he even has kids. He's like, how can this guy have kids when he's like streaming online? And it's like, well, if anything,
Jesse is far more normal than.
Well, the other thing is, it's like,
come on.
well, like let's do some self-reflection here, Josh. What that indicates here is that the primary the thing that a woman would be looking for has nothing to do with streaming. It has to do with everything else about your life. But Josh's entire life is streaming, is the fact that he runs a stream and stuff. So it's like, yeah, your stream might be, I don't know what the numbers are, but it might be technically bigger than Jesse's, but like that doesn't mean anything for getting a woman. Like think of how deranged this is. It's like, he only has 400 people streaming. How is he married? Yeah, same with 99% of everybody who's married, dude. Like that's it's not streaming.
It should tell Josh something. It should tell him that, like, yeah, the streaming is irrelevant. Like, how is this guy married with kids and he's streaming to 400 people and he's been doing it for 15 years? Like, that should be a question to you, Josh. Like, what's the difference between you and Jesse? Like, you've been doing kind of the same thing as Jesse, although way crazier. And you don't have a wife and kids, so like, what's the deal?
Yeah, and just in the next page here, after he asked that question, and it just goes to show exactly what you're talking about, that this was the thing that really wounded him, was this whole like marriage thing. Because immediately after that, he says, "Can you like go make a thread for this dude instead of continuously shitting up my thread?" Now, obviously, the argument here is that he's...
Well, okay, hold on. Well, I feel like we're starting in the middle of this story.
You're right. Let me go back.
Like, what all are we going to cover?
Yeah, so I actually have the original page. Let me go back to it. Where he...
Is he deleting things?
Is he? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know. You said original page.
No, yeah. So the page I had originally brought up here was the one when someone had first posted Jesse's stream and his immediate like fight about it, because there's some pretty interesting cope in here about how he's like, I thought Jesse was just trying to help me, and it's like 2 days ago.
Oh, that's such bullshit, dude.
Yeah, 2 days ago you were saying 2 days ago you were saying no, like this guy is malicious. He's like, I mean, Jesse played it himself on the stream. The whole rant where he's like, you're malicious, you're just looking for attention. That's why I don't say his name. I have to say, it was funny when Jesse was like, so your whole goal here is not to say my name, and then you're showing my website on the stream. God,
it was
like,
you know what the worst part is? It's like, Jesse didn't even have to do anything. Like, Jesse didn't have to work for it. Like, you just laid this massive W in his lap. Like, here you go, sir. Please, Master Jesse, have another.
Yeah, so
it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
So we have someone post. Well, first of all, this guy originally posting his stream, this is not true. Josh talked about Jesse for maybe 5 minutes. That's not true. And I mean, Jesse proved that he played the whole segment. It was more like 20 minutes. And so they're posting about it here.
While Jesse is like posting all of this on Twitter, like he's like screenshotting all of this, saying, "Hey, these retards are talking about me." Yeah, I guess it would have been one thing, because, you know, like the whole thing with Jesse, the claim is always that he's running these like gay ops and stuff. He runs the pranks. Well, in fairness, he
does.
Like,
no, he totally does. He does these pranks and stuff, and some of them I think are funny. Some of them don't land, but that's sort of the nature of kind of what he does with the pranks all the time and stuff. But in this case, it's not even as if he messaged Josh and was like, "Hey, you know that bet that we made that like about cutting my hair, like how are you doing on that?" It's just, no, he messaged him.
Yeah, Josh reached out to him. Like, what the fuck?
So people in the thread are generally mad. This guy, whoa, buddy, you're not going to believe what you're about to see.
They're
the same shit
pissed,
everyone
dude.
says when they call out, talking about the Blockland post. Now, I want to clear something up here, because I made this mistake when I first started streaming, is this stuff that the same shit, that is not true. And the way I know that's not true is because my knowledge about the Blockland post came from two sources originally. The thread on this site and his own stream cover, because there's an old stream where for how he talks, it's not titled Blockland. That's why it's hard to find, but it's not titled Blockland drama. It's titled something else, but the first half is him talking about it. And those two sources do not contain like 2/3 of the messages. They don't contain the trans message. They contain one of the mom hate messages, but not the one that Jesse was posting that was like, I want it, like the crazy one, the really crazy one. All these ones are not in either of those sources. And so there's narrative that it's all been covered. You've seen it all before. No. If someone like me who's had an account on the site since 2020, and I was looking at stuff before then, I watched the show for a little bit. If I didn't know anything about these, then what do you think the random normie that like hasn't seen? They haven't seen any of this shit. So like this whole narrative that is stuff that people have already seen is just not true at all. And so Josh says, did Nancy cut his Digi-knee Lennon? So his whole narrative is that because Jesse has long hair, he's like Digi-bro. And I guess also he looks like John Lennon, who, you know, it's tough. But again, it's like, I don't know. The thing about the hair is like the hair takes 5 minutes to fix. Whereas the whole weight thing, you know, I mean, I get your whole calculator sort of proves how difficult that one is. So they're making fun of his hair, whatever. I guess the other thing that kind of like really secured this is Jesse goes on for a while at the end of this stream about why he does the streams. I think he kind of went on a little bit too long about that, where he's like, I make the show.
He dragged it out. Yeah, oh my God.
It was getting a little gay. The whole, like, I make the show. I don't care.
Okay, there's the DMs.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care. And here's some of them. Here's the first ones about the metabolic rate. I'm still not sure about some of these numbers. So his basal metabolic rate is 21.
Wait, okay, can we go to the video? Can we go to the stream?
Yes, I have the video, and I have right when he starts talking about
because there is, yeah, can we do, let's get the full, like, DMs.
Yeah, this is right when he starts doing the DMs right here. And this is him just proving.
Well, can we get the ones before that where he says, like, hey, where he proving that he DMs? Yes, there we go.
Yeah, right here.
You cannot lie. Or
okay, here we go.
This is now I got to click through again so you can see that I'm
this
not faking
so
this because I took it off screen.
Man.
Here you go. This is
like,
real.
And
you
so okay, so like all Jesse had to do. So just to preface this, in case somebody missed everything. So basically, Jesse was talking about King Cobra, who was killed by the Kiwi Farms, is my opinion. And so Jesse's basically saying, like, okay, which I agree with. There's all these people who are fucking with this guy that now have trolls remorse because they fucking killed him, basically. Yeah. They encouraged all this fucked up behavior. And now they're like, oh, RIP, dude, we always loved you, though. And so Jesse's, like, in this Twitter argument with these people. And then he, like, quote tweets Josh at one point. And so Josh is pissed. Like, Josh gets fucking pissed. And then he talks about Jesse on his show. And he's like, oh, well, Pod Awful is this guy who's fucking loser. He basically shits on him, right? He shits on him. He says, oh, I've got him figured out. He doesn't want people to mention him because, which I actually agree with Josh on this. Like, Jesse does, like, want people to mention him, like, because he kind of wants to be infamous, right? So he's...
Yeah, I guess the problem is that the only character that I think has reached infamy is Ralph himself, and it took flying around the world, getting in fights, doing all the things Ralph did, and Jesse's not going to do that. So it's like, sorry, buddy. You got to bleed for the art.
He wants people to just, like, talk about him, regardless of whether it's, and I don't think Jesse is totally honest, because in this video, he's like, oh, well, I wish a lot of these people weren't shit-talking me. I don't think he cares. I think he just wants people to talk about him. Yeah. He just wants his name to get bigger. So I do agree with Josh's analysis about this. But anyway, Josh makes the mistake of mentioning him. Because he's a fucking idiot. He's a tar baby.
Well, and mentioning him in the context of talking about why the worst thing you can do is mention him.
Yeah, right. It's like the irony is...
Yeah, he just doesn't insane. See... I don't see how... part of it is because since Josh has always been in environments where he's the admin, whether it be this site, whether it be the old site that had the file text board, whether it be 8chan, he's very used to being in a position where he makes the rules, he doesn't follow the rules. Like he's
having control. Yes,
yeah, he's at like a tier of regulation above. So he can talk about Jesse because he's the one telling you not to talk about it. And it's like, well, you know, if this principle is universal, if it's actually true, and then we see the result, which is exactly, you know, all this shit. Like, okay, well, the point was proven, I guess. It's a very elaborate way to prove your point.
Right, and somehow he fell into Jesse's trap without Jesse even having to set a trap. Like, it's like Jesse is this guy who's known for like running gay ops and doing all these elaborate things, but then at the end of the day, he doesn't actually have to do anything. Right?
Yeah.
He doesn't, it's not like he tricked Josh with some elaborate gay op. Like, no, he literally did nothing. That's the craziest part.
And I think that you know, his original take, like Jesse's initial take on Cobra, I don't even think it was that crazy, because it was basically as simple as,
wasn't.
you know, Kiwi Farms whines all the time about not touching the poo, but keeping this repository is in itself getting involved, number one. Number two, he's not like happy he's dead, but you know, he didn't follow Kobe, so he's not going to pretend like he suddenly cares about him, which fair enough. And then number three, this sort of like double standard about blaming people for Kobe's death and stuff is stupid. And then this narrative was, Jesse wants like Kobe's to die, and then Josh, a guy who the day after he dies is now wanting to like sell his image on a coin, which is crazy. I know that's rich coming from me, but like which is crazy. But right, I get that, but
yeah,
I'm like the day after he dies, it's like, come on, man. And then he does a whole segment where it's like he not only talks about him in a way of saying don't talk about him, he shows his website, he just promotes him. Like, you couldn't have asked for a better ad. And even then, Jesse doesn't like take it's not even bait, but just doesn't take the opportunity. He's like, oh, I'm going to cover this segment. He only covers it after Josh messages him. For apropos of nothing.
Right, because Josh delivered the main course on a silver platter to him.
And so it took him a little while to get here. That was the other complaint to have it but stream. 2 hours, 40 minutes to get to the DMs.
It takes him forever, dude. It was crazy. It was outrageous.
Every single thing that anybody says about this, where they say this is nothing, this is no big deal, this is a nothing burger, is cope.
All right.
You can't convince me otherwise. We're about to lose it.
I'm completely satisfied these are real. Not just he shows it on because you know he's known for it might not be.
Well, Josh would deny it. Right?
Yeah, well, but he didn't. Like, well, so when I go back to the thread, I'll show he's like immediately confirms that they're real. It's funny too because he could have said they're not. Like, that would have been maybe the play. Is to just be like, oh, you guys know Jesse, they're not real.
Okay. They're saying Colonel J.
I'm looking at that right now.
Colonel J clip?
Yeah, he might have a better clip of it.
So, because that's the thing, Jesse plays this Josh clip over the course, this 5-minute Josh clip over the course of like 3 hours, and it's infuriating because it's like, okay, just play the whole fucking clip for Christ's sake.
So I don't see on Colonel J's YouTube channel. It might be on the Rumble though.
Oh, the Rumble. Yeah. Hey, by the way, shout out to Rumble, guys. You know, I've been uploading all kinds of casino clips and shit on my Rumble channel. Go to the Rumble. Like, I'm going through the archives. We're going through the archives. We're uploading everything.
Yeah, I saw some old stuff on there that I think is
there's actually relevant. I've got one that's like really good. The dick pic one. I don't know if you saw that. The Queen of Bants. That's like a one I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen. There's a couple of good ones, and I've still got a bunch of shit to upload. So
yeah, and those are good because I talked about this last stream. But as far as the whole Kino Casino thing is, it's not, you know, there's just going to come a point where there's another one of these incidents where there's like weakness, and bringing all the clips back up again and have like someone with it, like an actual platform or whatever, getting it there. So I don't see it on Colonel J's channel, so I'm going to keep this running until.
And if you aren't constantly
find
making
this
fun
Colonel J clip,
of Josh
do I need to go look for
after this point, you are a simp. So I told him lose 20
damn it,
pounds.
you can't link
he
in
messaged
YouTube
me
chat.
out of
Dog,
nowhere.
you got to like start
restreaming
to Rumble or Kick or something.
I'm on Kick.
Oh, you are? Do you dual stream?
Yeah.
He says,
oh, okay.
I am down 58 pounds.
Some people like Kick. I just hate how locked down
2025. Now, you guys kind of mentioned that earlier, so I guess this is like public knowledge.
There's a copyright.
I didn't
you can't
know
play any songs
all
you
want. All he talks about
like,
is weight loss or weight loss journey. It's so fucking annoying.
Now,
okay, this is another
Colonel
good point
J.
that one of Jesse's minions makes is he says that he doesn't talk about the weight loss stuff, and then literally in his thread and then on the stream, like the only reason anyone even knew about this weight loss and the only reason Jesse could even make the bet about losing weight is because he talks about it.
Hasn't he been challenged before?
Yeah.
By PPP, actually.
Okay. right? I scale.
Yeah, I don't
everything.
see this
His-
fucking
his
clip from
scale
Colonel
was
J.
on a
Where the fuck is it? Is it on
Bosnian
Twitter? Where is it?
newspaper.
I hate
For
when these people
me-
like don't provide any info.
So he says, I'm down 58 pounds since February 11th, 2025. I have at least 20 more to go. And then when asked for, I think pretty reasonably asked for proof, he provides the IBM Summit fat calculator. And we've got okay, do you know the lore behind the socks with the scale? Because what happened was, back during Punt the Gun, which was...
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, go ahead. Maybe, but explain it to me.
so
I'll be right back. But I have wireless headphones, so I'll hear you.
Okay, cool. So back during Punt the Gun, which was years ago, Jub the Nub was involved in it, PPP, they were all trying to lose weight. This is back when PPP was doing the hot sauce diet, where he just starved himself and he lost, like, something crazy, like unhealthy amounts of weight, like, very quickly. Josh was doing... This is where Pizza Day comes from. Because Josh would say that because of his whole plan, his plot for losing weight, he had Friday as his cheat day where you get a pizza. And everybody rightfully made fun of that. It's like, bro, if you're dieting, why are you talking about Pizza Day and everything? And as part of the proof for Pump the Gun, they were posting like scales and weights and whatnot. And Josh's whole contention for why he was going to be the only one who didn't fulfill this condition was because he didn't want people to fetishize his feet. Because he's like, people will fetishize my feet if I post them. So then I think eventually he did post them, but they were like this with the socks. And just speaking that into existence, it's like another low IQ moment. And it's like, well, no one was thinking of that until you just said it. So it's like now, even people who would not have ever done anything like that are now going to be making fun. Like, why even say that? But the reason why I think this story is important is because it indicates that Josh has been trying to lose weight since 2020, and his whole thesis, because he wrote out some of these posts. Maybe I'll try to find some, but some of these posts are like essays, like 5-paragraph essays about why his methodology for losing weight is the only way, and the general principles of what he was saying is right, which is like, eat less, walk more, lose 2 pounds a week. Cool, sure, great, but he would like then fit in the like fat guy excuses, which is like, but then I gotta eat pizza on Friday, I gotta do this, I gotta do whatever. And now here we are getting a claim about having lost 58 pounds since February, and it's like using the same methodology. And I don't blame people for having doubts, because it's like, well, it didn't work in 2020. Because we're still here 5 years later. We're still doing this. We're still using the pizza day method. The esoteric pizza dayism has not gotten us there.
Well, that's
in 5 years.
That's the talking point that all fat people dream about. Is getting thin, is losing weight, but they never do.
Yeah.
Right. That's like that. It consumes them. So like, think about it. Josh, for like probably his whole life, had just been dreaming and thinking, and he eats him up inside that he's this fat
running the
fuck.
server probably doesn't help. Like, honestly, you want to know what would probably be the best thing for him? It would be to get a regular job that you have to clock in and clock out 8 and 5. Like, he'll probably lose weight just doing that, standing at a counter.
Yeah, like when you're fat enough, like you don't even have to do anything.
But when all you have to do is run this server, and he probably has, he probably goes to like wakes up at 2 p.m. or something and goes to sleep at 5 a.m. or whatever, and there's no schedule, and it's like he's worried about, he's like super paranoid. That's why whenever he gets pinged, he's drunk and comes into threads and stuff. Well, no wonder 5 years hasn't worked.
Like, that's what pisses me off about these fucking losers who are like streamers and stuff, like Josh. Like, Josh, I know that 80% of your day you're actually doing nothing, right? You could go to the gym, like you could, like, like how Warski's always like, oh, I'm working, I'm editing, like he's really doing nothing. And like, that's the thing, like that you could be a fucking Giga Chad, like physiognomy if I don't even know. Like, nobody knows the answer. Like, you have all this free time and you have the money to get a gym membership, but you don't do it. And, like, that's the thing about Josh is, like, I know he's not fucking working out. You just know it. And it's like, it's so much easier to lose weight when you work out, because not only does it help you burn calories, but you convert fat into muscle, right?
Well, yeah,
and so like
and it
the
makes
weight
the
turns
ratio,
into muscle.
It makes the ratio more heavy towards fat, so you don't end up being atrophied at the end. I honestly think like I think running the forum is like a big part of why it hasn't happened in 5 years. Like why it's hard. It's like if you just had a regular job, you clock in, you clock out, and you weren't constantly worried about getting, nuked on the only thing that is like your life accomplishment, which is the forum. I mean, just look at the way he, like with the KC thread, all this stuff where he just is so reflexive and spurgs out. And it's like, dude, that's like stress eating, drinking type phenomenon.
Yeah.
Here's the
It's
weights
being terminally online stresses you out. Like that's not man's natural state to be fucking online all day.
Yeah,
and
well,
so
you have to set boundaries. That's the thing I think he doesn't do. It's like even for like all of my stuff for this is logged into one PC that I only look at like 3 days a week for like an hour, right? And then everything else is like offline. I don't think he sets any boundaries for any of this stuff.
Well, and he has no discipline. Exactly. Like there's no boundaries. There's no discipline. Like I kind of have to do a similar thing. I have a separate Windows install for all this. I don't log into Discord on my phone. My Twitter account has been gone, deleted. It's still there technically. I could get it back. I don't know. Maybe I will. But and also he has no discipline because he's never had a 9 to 5. Like when you have a 9 to 5, that by itself creates a block in your life where, okay, like you have to fucking go to bed at a normal time. You have to wake up. Like you have to go into work, or even if you work from home, like you have to like be there. Like it creates discipline just because you have the fucking job. Like Josh has really never had this. He worked at a burger joint, for Christ's sake.
And I think,
for like a couple years.
And you don't even have like the higher education thing. I think he got like a 2-year certificate or something.
Yeah, he didn't even graduate from high school. He got a GED.
Dude. Oh no.
It's like, bruh.
It's tough. It's GED, bro.
Like he talks all this shit about black people, but like his whole life is basically like the life of a black person,
dude. Like for real. Like from the cheese thing to the whole whatever's happened in the family. Like, it's tough. So we have here. This is when he's posting his numbers. This is the IBM Summit Fat Calculator. Starting weight 270. Okay.
Wait, is that a real thing? Is that just a thing that you've made up? Is this it's a IBM Summit?
IBM no, it's a joke. It's because IBM made like their supercomputer in the 80s to play chess, the Summit. Right, and I'm just saying he's doing
that's what I thought, but
all this advanced math to figure out like I mean, I guess it shows dedication, but the thing is it's like you can do all the supplementary dedication you want. At the end of the day, you still have to just do the actual work.
Well, and that's the thing. Like that's how you know a person has like no willpower, no discipline. Is they have to do shit like this. Like a person who is disciplined, who has willpower, will just say, "I want to be thin," and then we'll just eat less. We'll just hit the gym. But like a fat person has to create like a fucking Excel spreadsheet. They have to download all the apps. It's like when Worski. His mom called him fat, and so he immediately went to Amazon and bought like $1,000 worth of fucking apps and watches and scales, right? Because they have to have all these gadgets and shit to like trick themselves. And
speaking of Worski, I saw a clip from I don't know if there's the show on Monday or what. Well, I don't think they did one. I don't know, but he like said 50 subs to wear the weight vest, and then was like whining and complaining and like I don't want to do it, and PPP basically was like. Had to like whip him. It was like you're wearing the weight vest, buddy, because they paid. And then he wears it for like 10 minutes and takes it off. It's the biggest workout he's ever done. Just wearing the weight vest.
He's like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I got to take this thing off, buddy."
And this message here after he posts the numbers where he says, "I didn't take a picture of the scale before I started because I didn't intend to discuss it. But I have an old photo of a scale from years ago to indicate my starting point. Here's a screen capture from my Excel sheets where I counted calories." The problem I have with this excuse is, first of all, when you're already ideating you standing on the White House steps because you think this is going to be so successful, there's no way you didn't take a picture. Number two, I think the real reason you don't want to post a picture is because your starting weight was not 270.
Yes, I don't believe that for a second. Like, it was in the 300s. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no way.
Yeah, well,
he has been way fatter than 270.
It kind of helps explain how maybe this is how the treaty was drawn between PPP and Josh, is they had some common ground.
Yeah, right. They're both fat fucks.
Yeah, they talk about their favorite flavor of chips. Okay, so yeah, here we got this is like his scheduling, I guess, for calories per day. The other part of this that's wild coming from Mr. I'm OPSEC is he posts like where he's buying stuff, so you could like if
Oh, that was another classic, man. Just
We'll find
another
it here.
classic. Like the turkey stick or
Yeah.
whatever. And he's posting all the goy slop he eats.
and it's like
You know,
bro, just
another Josh W.
get ground turkey, man. It's like the
Yeah,
most
fuck,
protein
man. Like,
efficient.
and that's the thing about Josh is
Here
he
it
talks
is.
shit about Indians, Jews, blacks. Like he talks shit about everybody, all these fucking people, and then he does all the shit that they do, or they're like how they're subvert. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, like have a little self-awareness, please.
We got mini turkey stick by Archer Country Provisions. I mean, I'm sure
and the monster, the white monster.
I'm sure someone looks. I'm sure there are sectors of the internet right now that are trying to find Archer. It's just like Mr. OPSEC, you're showing this, and the other element of this beyond not posting the starting weight is no height. And I think that the reason for that is one of the longest running jokes about Ethan Ralph, and to be fair, it's pretty funny, is the whole 4'11", 5'1", like that he's short thing. And it would look so bad if Josh was short too. I mean, because the only pictures we have,
I mean, he's under 6 foot.
Well, because I'm trying to think of the only picture. There's one picture of him standing next to Hot Wheels and some Pinoys, and that's the only picture I think where he's standing next to something.
Dude, he's
for
under
reference.
he's under 6 foot.
And I
like
mean,
that's
yeah.
here's the thing. If you're over 6 foot, you will tell people because it's like it's a flex.
Yeah.
If you're under 6 foot, like you won't say it. It's just that simple. And he's probably, if I had to guess, he's probably around Ralph's height. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, for all the jokes and everything, isn't Ralph? He's like 5'7"
Which is about
or
Worski's
something?
height. I mean, Worski and Ralph are like very similar height too, just for the record.
We got the butter, eggs and butter. We got the butter meal,
Oh yeah, the eggs and butter. That's the healthiest meal he eats.
eggs and butter. Yeah, I mean, no wonder he couldn't find the.
And you know, just for the record, like Monster White Claws, terrible for you. I used to drink those. I had to stop because they were They like tore me up, dude. They're so bad for you. Like they're fucked.
Yeah,
You should not be drinking those. Like just drink coffee for Christ's sake.
yeah, and so then Jesse asked for basically asked for pictures of him, and he makes a good point here where he's like, can I just post a chart for my hair? Like I'm gonna have if I'm gonna cut that. And this is what makes me think that the reason this entire thing happened was he really thought that by messaging him with the gotcha of like, oh, you thought you were so big by making this bet. Well, actually, I've lost all this weight. So where's the hair? Like, he really thought this was going to be a massive W. He really thought that he was going to come in here and win this point. But it's like, of all the people, like, Jesse's going to turn this into, even if this wasn't as bad as it was, Jesse would turn this into content somehow. And he would drop all the DMs. So you have to know that everything you say in here is going to get shown on his show because that's just how he is. So then where does it, like...
Yes. Well, not only that, he just lost a bet to Ethan Ralph.
Yeah.
He just
Well, yeah.
like lost a $5,000 bet,
Well,
and it's like, Josh, like, what are you crazy, man? Like, you are making this bet, and you just.
I gotta eat crow on that because when I made the video when that bet during their initial debate, and Ralph said he won at the end. I was like, well, we don't know yet. Things are still moving, but you know, as I said before, Ralph subconsciously he's tuned into the wills of the sector of the force, and even though he had no logical reason to know why he would end up being right about that, he was. So you know, I give him the W because yeah, I mean, I don't think like even Kino Casino's not coping for the body cam footage anymore. They're like, yeah, it's not coming out.
Well, and again, I can't. This is unexplainable. It's unexplainable to me why Josh thought this was a good idea because, as you said in the beginning, he just like went on this screed about how Jesse is manipulative. Jesse, you know, is like this guy with ulterior motives. For Christ's sake, Jesse himself says it. And then he does all this, and it's like, what? I would pay anything to know what was going through Josh's head.
Like I said, I think he thought he was going to get the W. I think that he thought he was going to put Jesse in his
but how?
place.
How? Like, what? Like,
He thought he was going to roll up in here and be like, You think you're so good that
fill his spaghetti in DMs and then win?
That's where, but the reason I think that's because look at the way it goes. Because at first it's just, this is how much weight I've lost. Here's all this data, which because he's autistic, he thinks that the charts and data are more impressive than, like the intuitive proof, which would just be a picture of him, right? And he thinks, okay, I've got the win. And then when Jesse's immediately incredulous and is like, where's the picture? What's happening? Then we get the first real massive crack, which is, I'm taking a photo. It's going to be a suit on the steps of the White House. Whoa.
Oh, can we show that?
Yeah, I have it up right now. I last posted a selfie in 2020, and the next time I'm taking a photo, it's going to be on the suit. So if we consider this like a Sargonian type prediction, how do we get Josh to support the party or whatever that we don't like? Because Sargon killed UKIP when he said this, and he joined them. So do we get him to like? Is there like a reverse? Do we get him to join Trump because we think Trump is like a sellout and that someone else will take his place? Do we get him to join the Democrats because we don't like them? How do we weaponize this curse?
Well, I think JD Vance will see Josh's tweets and see how based he is, screaming about the Indians and the Jeets and the Jews and 1 million.
JD Vance will see him. And
Trump.
He'll be like, because he's like the tech, like that's what they're the dark enlightenment, intellectual dark web. What's his face? Teal will call it. Vance will be like, look, there's a fat, retarded, autistic guy who runs this forum. I need you to use him to. I need you to use him to get internet transparency so I can spy on Americans or some shit.
He's gonna show him the clip of Josh saying he'll ignore all the rapes of Jeffrey Epstein if there's just 1 million deportations a month, which is crazy, by the way. Like that will never ever happen. That's insane to even think there could be 1 million deportations
even if there
in a month.
Even if we get the Star Trek transporter, it's like, why is this the choice? Why are you creating this as the dichotomy, buddy? It's like, I understand that politics is sausage making. You have to make compromises, but I think this is a very specific compromise to your benefit, Josh. And so
like you could have said anything but Jeffrey Epstein raping kids.
So this is the Sargonian curse. We'll see who the first because if he's really going to run this internet transparency thing like an actual.
Well, hold on. It's not the Sargonian. Sargon won in the end.
In the end, yes, but he killed the initial party and movement that he joined. And so that's what I'm saying here is the first candidate that the Internet Preservation Society endorses, and he specifically did a 501c4 so that it could endorse policies and candidates because 501c3 can't. The first candidate that he endorses is going to go the way of UKIP.
Perhaps, I suspect there could still be a monkey's paw situation where he Josh like dies, but in the ashes his movement is reborn.
I mean, that's kind of ideal, right?
Or something like that. Yeah, right. That's the only way it could happen.
And then here we go. Massive self-awareness. The next message after he does the Sargonian gambit, he says, like, I know your game and I'm not playing it as he plays it.
Oh,
this is
my
like sitting
God.
down with Magnus Carlsen and just being like, I know you're the best chess. Like, I know you're good at chess, so that's why I won't play chess with you. Pawn E4. Like, what the fuck? You're playing the game right now.
Dude, I couldn't this is where I was I couldn't believe it. Again, I just can't explain this. I cannot explain. Josh is truly, I truly overestimated Josh.
Yeah, like I said, I think
because he went to the one guy who would
immediately leak everything. Yeah.
Right.
Immediately. Without reservation.
Even Ralph, dude, if he went to Ralph, Ralph would treat him with more honor and respect than Jesse. Right, and it's just the next day this happened.
So F. Hammer says that his going to the White House, he thinks he's going to use the 4chan and Kiwi Farms lawsuit against Ofcom, and that'll get him to the White House. The problem is that would take, first of all, years. Second of all,
F. Hammer saying this?
It's on Twitter. Second of all, the 4chan and Kiwi Farms lawsuit is Ofcom is British. The only reason I could think of that connecting to the White House is if they're able to convince, I don't know, someone in the administration that they should take up the cause of 4chan and Kiwi Farms to strike against Ofcom. The thing is, if you're the White House and you're thinking strategically, obviously you don't like Ofcom and you want to make You want to make waves about being pro free speech. You can do that without co-signing 4chan and Kiwi Farms. Because then you're being forced to defend like 4chan and Kiwi Farms, and they don't have to do that to say Ofcom is gay and that they shouldn't be censoring the entire internet. So I know you're saying what he thinks, and maybe he does think that, but if he does, that's a long shot.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I did like want to mention, the whole like Trump executive order on payment processor and all that, and Josh was just like on the fucking moon.
Well, first he was
like, yeah, well, actually, he was right to do that, because he still gets rejected from everything. Like, Coinbase still shut his account down, or whatever fucking crypto site he posted about. Oh man, that was so badass.
And it's like all these players, like real players, like Trump, like all these people who
don't give a fuck.
Well, they have an interest in internet. They have an interest in these causes, but like, why shackle yourself to this like zombie, like to this plague victim?
Well, no, honestly, I don't even agree. Like, I don't think they gain any benefit by cozying up to Kiwi Farms or by saving Kiwi Farms, because they already have Twitter. Yeah. Elon already flipped the table. Like, Josh, you're irrelevant. 4chan, irrelevant. All this shit is totally irrelevant now, because Twitter is there, and Twitter, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and I mean,
who fucking gives a rat's ass?
The alternative, like, you have to think that for a platform like Coinbase, like those, they still have an interest in the payment processing cartel. But again, they can accomplish what they want out of it without associating with Kiwi Farms and 4chan. As far as like Trump, like the political element, they only care about this insofar as it gains donor money and appeases like a base and all the politics. There's no principle to any of that. And like, you don't need to, again, shackle yourself to the infected corpse of Kiwi Farms to achieve that objective.
And yes, and Trump would intervene, like they would intervene, but Josh is not even like MAGA, like Josh. And I understand like people are against that for various reasons, but like Josh is like talking shit about Indians. JD Vance's wife is Indians. He's like dropping N-bombs left. Like, again, Josh, you're not even like a supporter of Trump. Like, why the fuck would he help you out? Like, what?
Well, he's back and forth. What does he get out of it? It's funny. People make fun of
right.
People rightfully, I think, criticize Nick Fuentes for him going back and forth on Trump, him endorsing Kamala, and then the day after the election being like, we did it again. But Josh has gone back and forth on Trump literally almost the exact same times. And like,
he's even worse.
Yeah, well, at least with Nick, we can say it's like federal involvement, and he's more well-spoken, so he can explain.
Well, at least he's settled into a stance, right? He's like, okay, I'm all in on being anti-Trump. Well, maybe he'll go back on that, but it's not as flip-floppy, at least.
There was a tweet I saw that was just perfect, I think it was in the Mad at the Internet thread, where someone asks, is like, how come Josh is this like, I hate India, like very like racist or whatever, but then also at the same time, like the biggest feminist ever. I think it might be on F-Hammer. Let me find it, but it is, and it's just so obviously like, it's the opposite of being a pick-me. It's like a male pick, I guess a simp is what we would just
It is. He's so, and that's the thing about his politics. It's like Medicare. Like, they do the most generic, like, oh, wow, you're racist. Whoa, that's fucking a hot take, dude. Like, you're against Indians. Like, he does the same thing as Medicare, where, like, now Medicare just does the X talking points, right? The conservative X talking points.
Well, as far as
that's exactly
as far as him thinking that like if he signals certain politics either way, that this is a way to like get women to like him or whatever, it just really belies the lack of, because what every like sane man knows is that you do not want a political girlfriend. You want a girlfriend with no who is like very vague, feels-based politics, and then that's like your department. When
who just vaguely agree. You just want them to just agree with whatever the fuck you say.
Yeah, I get like
I agree with you. Oh, you think I should vote for Trump? Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, or relate it to things that they do care about, like the family, like kids or whatever. But the idea that you want like this hyper political girlfriend who's like agrees with me on the Indians, but then also I have to be feminist so I can align with her like post radical. It's like, no, dude. The minute the politics comes first, like you're getting into Emily Yukis insane territory, which is also funny because I saw some posts of him simping over Emily Yukis in the Elaine thread the other day, that's a whole nother story. But back to these messages, he says, when you were saying you don't know what he's thinking, like I said, this is kind of when the wheels are coming off, where he realizes he's not going to just get the easy win, where he's like, oh, I proved that I lost the weight. And he just says, Jesse's just not having it. He just keeps, keeping the line out there, just being like, no, I need like actual proof. Well, I'm not posting a selfie until I read my ultimate goal. I think he means reach my ultimate goal in weight. Unless I can send you a chart of how much. Yeah, and exactly. It's like, ooh.
Dude, his goal is still fat as fuck.
Yeah, so he wants to be under 200, I guess. And then he's going to go to the doctor for a body. You know, you can just get one of those scales where you like pull the thing and it does.
Oh,
like
this is the best part, dude.
Has he never has he never done any of this stuff before? Like been to a gym?
Okay. This is the best part.
Did you ever watch
this? I'm a little bit behind, I think.
Did you ever watch the Del Rey Misfits with all those guys, the like workout guys, and every 5 seconds he would ask for the body fat percentage thing because he wanted to see after each workout. After each workout, it would change. It's like, you don't need to go to the doctor for this.
Well, like the U.S. government literally created a calculation to know like what your appropriate weight is. It's called BMI.
Yeah.
And it's existed for 50 years, maybe even more. You know, and like, this is the best message in the whole. This is better than the White House message. I have to go to a clinic because I've never. You could ask AI. You could ask Chat. You could ask Grok.
Well, and you can buy the thing like
Grok could tell you.
Even if you want it to be more exact, like I said, they have these things where it's based off of like grip strength. They have ones where you stand on a scale and you do a resistance pull, and it'll tell you your body fat percentage. They're like $20. Even if you like. It just indicates that this guy has never.
He has to go to an Indian doctor to tell him what his normal weight is.
It's like what this tells me: this guy never played sports. This guy's never been into a gym.
Right,
he's never had male friends who talk about this. Like, there's so much you can glean from this lack of knowledge that it's like just no normal social development. As far as because like even if you're not like a super gym guy. You probably have a friend who is, or they talk about it, or you played sports, or you've at least walked into a gym or something, and they have the resistance pull like scales and stuff. And I need to go to the clinic, but I mean, the golden line is I've never been a normal weight. Like, I mean, that should be. Isn't it weird
that there's not a bodybuilding like thread on the Kiwi Farms?
Well, I think
or like
I know
a workout
why.
thread.
Yeah, I think
you know what I mean. Like. I've never thought about it until now, but it's like every single fucking forum site has a workout thread, has a bodybuilding thread, has a like health thread, except for the Kiwi Farms.
Well, I think part of it is because back when Kiwi Farms was still new until very recently, the biggest place that was the combination of like shitposting locales and workout was FitMisc, which is the miscellaneous board on the Fit forum, not 4chan. It became its own forum on bodybuilding forums, FitMisc. This is like where the Del Rey Misfits were, like very shitposty, very like off the wall and stuff. It shut down like 2 or 3 years ago, and there were people who wanted Josh to take those refugees and make a forum for them because they had their own. Like it is all the things that Josh claims that he's for. Like it's a very insular, like long running like forum culture, self-regulating. They have their own stuff and everything. It's similar to when the ONA guys kind of wanted to migrate. And just like with the ONA guys, he said no. And the reason why I think he said no is number one, because they probably make fun. Like he thinks he gets heat now for being fat. Bro, those guys would have, and they're like trolls, dude. They would have made him cry. Number one. Number two, I think he doesn't like to integrate new communities that already have like prominent members or people that he can't control. And with Beauty Parlor, that was a little easier because it's girls, and also because they didn't really have anywhere else other than what's the girl forum? There is one, but they were easier to integrate. Essentially, he was the knight in shining armor in his view. But guys like the fitness guys who are pretty shitposty, pretty troll, and like obviously ONA. I mean, those guys are crazy truckers, right?
And these would be like high T men, like know alpha male types. right? Who wouldn't take his shit, who would, who would put him in his place.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I mean, it's just interesting, like where the principles of I want the old internet, I want to be this home for like these cultures, but
There's nothing older internet than bodybuilding forums.
than the bodybuilding
like
forums, exactly.
they have been around since the internet has been around.
What needs to happen?
Forum is called Instagram.
Yeah, well, that's true. What there needs to be is to lead up to the nomination for him to be at least on the ballot for Lolcow of the Year. This quote right here, "I have never been a formal normal weight," needs to be in the title of his thread in Prospering Grounds. Because this is like an all-time great, and if it was anyone else that this occurred to, this would be part of the subtitle for their thread. And there's like hundreds of examples for other people. And I know that like if someone posts in his thread saying, "Can we add this to it?" it's either not going to happen or he's just going to get angry. I need to see a physician to know what my ideal weight is. Basically. The other thing he does is he you think this is bad, dude? Have you seen the post in the thread where he blames this on being like fat since he was a kid and it's not his fault?
Okay, are we done with these? Can we get into the Kiwi Farms?
So I won't. Let me see if
he's still posting in that thread like as we speak.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, no, he was as of like right before I started. Let me make sure that we got him. Yeah, I think that's all of them. And then I think they stopped talking, obviously, because I mean, how do you even respond to this message, right?
It's the meat of the.
It doesn't matter to me. I was just trying to share some positive motivation. No, you weren't, buddy.
Oh,
you're saying that now
like,
because you realize that you showed your weenus and that this is going to be on stream. So now you're posting this message where you're like, "I just took you in good faith on face value. After 2 days ago, I was talking about how you're a malicious troll."
Oh yeah, these messages.
If I can lose 100 pounds in a calendar year, maybe you can find the wherewithal and confidence. If anything, it takes confidence to look like a retard.
You're a Nancy boy.
Find confidence to finally embrace your one true self, like and again, calling him a troon after they were just like it's tough, man. All that did was.
But it's like these insults don't even make sense. Jesse is married and has kids, Josh.
Yeah.
You're calling him a Nancy boy, implying he's like a homo or something. You're saying he's digibro, he's a troon or something. Again, Josh, he's fucking blown you out just by his mere existence.
Yeah.
For Christ's sake.
And it's just disingenuous for him to...
He gets some better insults.
Yeah. It's just so disingenuous because he was running with this in the thread, too, the narrative that he was just trying to share some positive motivation. Dude, you didn't come in here to be friends with him.
And what a fucking...
Like, how can you say that after like I said, just 2 days before this stream, you're like, this guy's malicious. He only interacts with you to, like, get content. He's not a good guy or whatever. And now you're like, I'm just sharing positive motivation. Okay. And yeah.
Sending good vibes, dude.
And him calling him a
He's being more of a hippie fag than Jesse. Like Jesse looks like it, but Josh is trying to, like, sell that as what he's doing. Get the fuck out of here, Josh.
And then this is when he says, "My wife just likes the long hair," and it's just like, dude, fucking KO.
that was savage, dude.
And then, unlike you, I always wished I was a girl, but I'm fairly positive the trainee, didn't invent. Yeah, and it's just like you're just opening yourself up. Like you invited this comparison when you're saying he's digini, he's going to be trans. It's like, bro, he just posted in Flamenco's thread recently. That was about the mom, but also like the stuff where you said that you always wished I was a girl. It's crazy. I think that's the last one. Yeah, then he stops. So then he goes to the thread, or this is the wrong thread. That's so I don't get it. Why would I be embarrassed at losing 58 pounds? Well, that's the thing, man. If you're not embarrassed about it...
It's embarrassing because you're that fat to begin with.
Well, okay, true. But let's run with his narrative here. If this was really something you were proud of, why are you sending it in a DM to your enemy? Why didn't you post it? Why
post it?
Well, yeah, why aren't you posting the graph on the timeline, man, and being like, look, dude, I look at all the work I did. Like, if this was truly something you were proud of, it would be something that you would be showing publicly. But instead, it's in secret, it's to Jesse, and then you just give vague details in public so that nothing can be, like, confirmed. Yeah. It's just, if you're not embarrassed, then why are you here getting mad about it? I've discussed never being a normal weight on my podcast. Wait, I thought that you don't talk about your weight on the podcast. That's the claim he made before. I've mentioned going to get a BF percent measurement at a clinic on my podcast. Again, I thought you didn't talk about this stuff. Like, yeah, being overweight as a kid sucked and cost me opportunities. If you have kids, don't let them become overweight. Yep, it's all mom's fault. Again, not a good look when we have the post of you saying you want to kill your mom.
Don't let them become overweight.
It's much easier to. Well, I mean, I agree that like your parents have a role.
But he hasn't been a kid for 15 years.
Yeah, no, this guy's not. This isn't Destiny's kid, right? You know, it's much easier to cut your hair and stop being a Nancy boy. What's his excuse? How about actual confidence? Like, I don't want to sound like I'm glazing Jesse, but he brought up the confidence issue in the DMs where he's like, well, don't you have the confidence to cut your hair? I mean, if anything, what takes confidence is having a non-traditional look and you don't care what people think. What shows insecurity is being unwilling to show these details about your weight loss, but still wanting the credit for having done it.
Yeah. It's like, what, you know, John, he's in panic mode. He's losing it behind the scenes. I guarantee it. Oh,
well, yeah, because I mean, look at this.
Excuse?
This was yesterday at 9 my time, and he's still in the thread. This is what I mean when I say he's
still
like,
here, dude.
He wanted to do a challenge, so I offered to meet him on it. I thought he was doing a friendly thing.
Oh, this is such. I saw this. This is bullshit. It's bullshit.
Well, it's like the post he has in the DMs.
What the fuck are you talking about, Josh?
Where he's like, I thought this was positive motivation. To be clear, like in this video,
it's just positive vibes.
The reason why it takes till 2 hours and 40 minutes to get to the DMs on this Jesse stream is because the first hour, I mean, some of it's wasted time, but the first hour and a half is just him going through this 20-minute rant that Josh did against Jesse, saying that he's disingenuous, he's malicious, he's a troll, he touches the poo, he just wants you to talk about him, he like hates everybody. Like an hour of that. And then his first assumption was that he was reaching not even he was reaching out, because he didn't reach out. He like Josh mentioned to him about being positive. You're telling me a third grader I should have counted calories. No, but maybe as a fucking 18th grader when you were 25, like 10 years ago. And they clearly point that out. No, I'm telling you that you should have been an adult for over a decade and have known better.
Yeah.
He wanted full body pictures. I guess he's not showing the real conversation.
Okay, so you were fat as a kid. Like, I know plenty of people who were fat as a kid and like lost weight. It's not an excuse.
Well,
it's not an excuse an adult can give.
You know, people have made
he's not even like a young man.
No, people have made the accusation.
He's not even like 20s. He's in his fucking like late 30s.
Well, it's the Peter Pan syndrome thing. Except instead of like having Michael Jackson's Neverland, he has the Kiwi Farms, where everybody's perpetually a 16-year-old boy talking shit on summer break. Like that's
body pictures.
That's the pathology. I guess he's not showing the real conversation. He literally, you know, Jesse, again, he's known for faking shit, but he literally just opened his DMs and scrolled down. Like there's no way.
Nobody even thought those were fake for like a second.
He clearly did show the real conversation. In the DMs, you said you would only take a selfie when you reach your goal, and you would only be seen going to the White House. And he says, yeah, I'm not giving Jesse selfies, period. I thought that you thought he was positive. I thought you thought that he was doing a friendly thing. And now you're saying that you should know better to not talk to him? Great. I offered you scale and showed him proof of my previous weight. No, you didn't. No, you didn't show you proof of the previous weight. I'm not giving him more. He's not important enough to warrant it. But he is important enough to DM out of the blue and share your entire weight loss like mega calculation.
So right, he's just rewriting like the whole what just happened like 10 minutes ago. Like he's trying to rewrite it. Like, dude, that's not gonna work. We all just watched it.
I haven't put out a picture in years.
Just saw it live.
When I do, it will be a nice picture. Okay, well, there's a difference between I don't want a picture out unless it's nice, and my next picture is going to be in the White House. Like those are two galaxies apart from each other. I thought he wanted to do a friendly thing, so now we're going back to the friendly thing. So which is it? I'm not giving Jesse selfies, period, implying that you know Jesse's a bad actor, or I thought he wanted to do a friendly thing. If he's hoping for a beef, he's not getting one. What is this? Also, keep this message in mind. If he's hoping for a beef, he's not getting that one. Burn that phrase in your brain, because we're going to look at his messages from just today, right before the stream, and tell me if it sounds like he's trying to start a beef. Or continue a beef, I guess. It's bizarre behavior. I don't want to associate with someone who's that desperate for an own. So,
too late.
Wait, but
too late.
Desperate for an own. Who messaged to? Who's desperate here? If anything, you're desperate to prove that you've lost all this weight.
Well,
and that you're
he
not
brought him up on the show first because Jesse was ratioing him on Twitter or was quote tweeting him. Like Josh mentioned it. He initiated everything.
Well, and if it had just been that, if it had just been Josh talks shit on a show or whatever, then there wouldn't have really been an own on either side. What was the own was you DMing him out of nowhere and saying, I've never been a normal, like just totally dropping your spaghetti. So like, who's desperate here? Like, it seems like you're desperate to prove something to him behind the scenes, and in so doing, you like.
And it wasn't even tit for tat. Like, it was Josh mentions him on his show, and then before Jesse can even do the show, Josh messages him with all this shit.
He literally made a public offer, and I replied to it. I'm not doing anything for this dude now. Well, you kind of have already done it, man. Like,
yeah, you've done enough, King.
The issue is now that this dude is weird, and I'm not doing anything for him or with him ever. That was already your position before this. Your position before this was literally, I won't even say the name of his show. In so doing, showing his name and his website, but that was clearly just like a low IQ moment. But his position was, I will never talk to him again. Yeah, I stopped replying because I had to leave the house. Whoa. Most unbelievable thing in this thread. And he lost his shit, apparently. He lost his shit. He did a stream where he showed the DMs. I mean, like, what, you expect him not to do that? The guy who you said would do anything for clout? If he cuts his hair now, it's not getting on Maddie. Oh, well, he's got to pack it in then. He's not going to be on Maddie for the third time. If he wants to advertise his show, he can pay for a super chat. Hope that helps. Okay. So, well, and this is another minor contradiction. One of the reasons he doesn't like Jesse, and Jesse brings up the proof for this, is that he doesn't like that Jesse has stuff behind a paywall, but then right here he's like, pay me. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that he's trying to implement a way to pay for features, which I don't know how he thinks that's a good idea. That's going to be a fucking disaster if he actually does that. He didn't wait even 6 hours after my last message to flip out on me. So we'll never know now. Lol. Well, we do know. We see the messages. Like, the messages have everything in them. You guys sound like a fucking cult. This is one of the least self-aware things I've ever seen him post. You are on a website that you have complete, like, absolute power control over, with completely arbitrary, no consistency to the way the rules are enforced, except for when you are, I don't know if it's drunk or tired or whatever, and you feel like it. Not only that, but you are within the thread for your show that's only your fans within that forum, where there's literally thousands of pages, 3,000 pages. This Mad at the Internet, which has only been running for like 5 years, and I think this thread has only been around for less than that, has more pages than fucking like Patrick Tomlinson, like some of the biggest, most prolific guys. And you're saying that the guys coming in here saying that the messages are funny sound like a cult. Lastly, Jesse literally calls his Discord cult. So it's like...
Right. That's the thing. Like, Jesse is at least wears like what he is on his sleeve.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what you see is what you get. It's on the fucking the tin.
Yeah.
He says it. And it's like Josh is like, oh well, I thought we were gonna be honorable and it was gonna be good vibes. And it's like, Josh, he told you to your face he was gonna fuck you in the ass, and you bent over, you twerked on it, you did tricks on it.
So the Grill Cast, this guy has a good post here. What a normal internet person doing a weight loss challenge does. Here's a picture I took from my scale with my current weight. I'll be back when I get you a picture with my target weight. That's sealing the bet. Get ready to cut your hair, gay lady hair, homo. What Josh did. What? You don't believe me? No, I will not play your game and send a pic of my current weight on the scale. Here's my spreadsheet tracking my journey, which is just as good if you want to know the truth about it, bish. Also, let me trauma dump about always being so fat that I literally have to go to a doctor to be able to conceive what a healthy weight is. Why is this funny to you? And yeah, I mean, when even in this thread, this is like a positive reaction, it's tough.
Crazy.
Load website. There we go. Yes. Classic. This is the last. Okay, so that is the last post I saw last night. And I was like, this will probably...
There's already like 10 more pages.
Yeah. I'm trying to see when he returns. Oh, so now he's talking about NFL or something. There was a little...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried to like change the subject, some of his sweepers started talking about the NFL, and like a couple people had to come in and like drag it back to Josh being a
Well, the
fucking
reason he
freak.
did that is because there was a feature of some NFL thing. The guy the Cowboys got traded, and it got featured for like a day, and then people spurged out because they didn't think it was like locale related, and there was a whole big blow up over. I didn't really look too much into it, but I think that's why he's trying to like get it. He's like picking one. So he was already getting shit on for this NFL thing, so he's trying to go back to him getting shit on that instead of this. And yeah, people are talking about. I thought it was funny when the big fat guy spurred out in the DMs. Lol. Yeah, basically. Brian coming in here hot. Go off. Go off, Brian. And yeah, here we go. Yeah, that is one of the things though, Brian, is like I know you're coming in to get the W, but now it's just 10 pages of people calling
Now
you
he
gay.
just derails because everybody's got to do their, oh, you're a fucking fag, you're a gay man. And then it's like, okay, well, you've now just derailed it from Josh. You've helped Josh by doing that.
Now, this is a great post, and it's this post where it is pushing back on the sleeper agents thing. And the reason this post is funny, it's not because of the argument. It's because this user has done something that is the guaranteed way, and you can do this anywhere on the site, to make Josh spurg out, which is posting a full image instead of a thumbnail. And here it is.
Oh, just so it takes like the whole page.
He gets so mad when you do that. And so now it's back onto this. This must be when he comes back. Because I know in here, he starts getting very, very angry. Remember, he's not trying to start a beef.
Wait,
guys.
who is that person? Is that
Becca? I don't know. It's
is it just a random user?
yeah.
Or
Well,
something?
it's a fan of Jesse. I mean, he says it directly in there that he is.
Okay.
Which again, I don't know. He's part of the show. Like Josh chose to make Jesse part of the show when he talked about him on that like thing. So I don't think it's off topic to talk about it here. Wait, this dude is married, and so then here he comes back, which means that he was asleep for. Hold on. He's in Florida, right?
Also, hasn't it been known that Jesse is like been married? Like,
Yeah.
Josh always pretends, he always does this. Oh, I don't know the lore. What? He's married. Like, come on, Josh. Give
Okay,
it
so
up, dude.
he went to sleep at 2 a.m. his time last night. That was his last post in this thread. Then his next post is at 4 p.m.
No, Josh.
It's so close to what I predicted. I said it was like 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. or something. Coming out of it's iDubbbz shit, whatever. He can't mention Kiwi Farms or anything adjacent. It's a sin. He'll address some nobodies with 10. Oh, that's him talking about iDubbbz. And then
Erica in chat says, read the 3 MMA posts. Is that, what is that? What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think this is a Coper guy. I think I know who he's talking about. Yeah, this guy. He wanted full body pictures. I guess he's not showing. So he asks a question of you publicly. You message him. Then after you've answered him about the public question, he begs for full body shot. Dude, showing your every. It's just, I know who this guy. Well, I don't know who this guy, but I'm aware of this user on the site, and it's totally like bad faith here. That's the thing with Jesse and why he can't seem to get past the plateau he's stuck at. On a good night, he doesn't ever fall through. Sure, whatever. All this could be true. Like, you could criticize Jesse, say he doesn't do anything right or whatever. I mean, the point is,
Yeah.
I guess it depends on like what you're. First of all, it doesn't matter for as far as like these messages. Like Josh looks retarded in the messages. Like Jesse could be nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I
matter.
don't like Jesse, but it's like he raped Josh. I mean, that's just Josh raped
by
himself.
pretty much doing
really.
nothing. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so it doesn't really matter. Not only that, but it's like, I mean, if Jesse's getting what he wants out of the show, which he went on a whole, that was kind of the weakest part of it last night, was him explaining why he does the show. But Aaron Hernandez, this is Aaron Hernandez. Wishful thinking. If you do a segment on Maddie, on Jesse, I don't think that's wishful thinking. Even though he directly said he wouldn't do it, there's no impulse control. To be honest, just don't become the cow Jesse is trying to present you as. You aren't coming off as happy to be here, putting a sticker of your favorite podcaster's logo over your face. Wow, real happy. So, dude, okay, if anyone doesn't sound happy here, it's you, buddy. These warnings are gay. No one likes a guy you can't talk straight up with on some occasions. Bro, he's not your coworker. He's not your friend in real life. He's not a guy you're talking to at the bar and seeing this is just a random internet interaction, one that Josh put himself in by going into DMs. That's why no one really gives a shit about Pod Awful. It's so manufactured, the same thing over and over. Again, it has occasional funny moments. Well, like I said, I think he did make a good argument when he said, all these people who say that I'm never funny, this is the only funny thing I've ever done. We're now on the fifth time that's happened. But always retreats to his comfort zone of old bits that don't fit the situation or older stale bits that never quite worked. Again, there's a reason he's having to get it. Well, that was a bit, clearly, dude. I hope Jesse can turn it around. I watched him a few times. He is fun. Turn around how? It depends on what his goal is. If by turn around you mean become a big streamer, if he doesn't want to do that, then he's not going to. That prank call and Choo Choo the cow. So what this is when you attack the guys I want you to, when you talk about the things I want you to, you're turning it around. But when I don't even want to say run an op or run a prank, because Josh put himself in the situation by DMing him. Well, then it's not okay. To be fair, part of the humor was listening to Milo hit on the wall. Yeah, okay, this is when he interviewed Milo. That was pretty funny. His bit has gone stale. It's just the same joke over and over. He had the op to get more viewers multiple times. I mean, that's sort of the problem, though, is this whole perpetual argument about Jesse is that he does gay ops, he does these pranks. It can't really be applied to this. Because he didn't DM Josh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He
right. It wasn't a gay op. It wasn't he literally did nothing.
He did nothing.
Literally sent a couple tweets. This whole shit happened.
The one thing you can throw at the guy that everyone agrees with, which is that sometimes the pranks don't work out and that he tries hard on the pranks. It's not even relevant here. It is weird writing an essay. This stinks of Kino Casino thread. This sort of essay here where it's really
right, we have to defend Josh and his thread. We have to defend the casino and their thread. We can't just make fun of him when he does something retarded.
Yeah.
No.
So he tries to deflect the idos, and then this is when
even people who don't like Jesse are saying that this is a total Josh L raped, the raped.
So again, there's
I just don't know what to say.
He responds with Cigarette, who makes some pretty good posts. This is news to me, unless you're referring to this stream where he's clearly doing a bit. This is when he's referring to the joke about him having to get a job, which was clearly a bit. Then another user points out that it's a bit. And then, can you go make a thread for this dude instead of continuously shitting up my thread? So apparently talking about so this is the Mad at the Internet thread about the show Mad at the Internet, where the last episode there was a 20-minute bit about Jesse. Apparently talking about that bit and its consequences is shitting up the thread about that show. And again, from a guy whose entire identity has been running internet forums, a guy who ran into exactly what's about to happen here less than a month ago on the KC thread. The one way to make sure that people keep talking about Jesse in the thread is to literally do this. Is to say, please stop talking about this in the thread. Also, and then people say, we don't care about making
it on the casino. What the fuck is he talking about? It's the few accounts that brigade the casino thread. Are you retarded? How are you pinning this on the fucking red text posters? Are you fucking on drugs, Josh? Well, what the fuck are you talking about? Those people don't even like Jesse.
No, exactly. Yeah, those guys have their that thread has its own history of the people who were fans and then stopped being fans, or people who were never fans. There's a whole thing there, and a lot of those people they're not from Jesse. They're from 2017 IBS type people. They're Coach people, from Coach and everything. They're not Jesse people. A lot of those people are the ones who were shitting on Jesse during the whole Ralph thing, with the going to his house. But this is something that's occurred across the site since the whole KC thread blow up. Is there certain users who think that there is a grand conspiracy of and it's not just in one
Tell
thread.
Me about it.
It's not, there's a
What was that post that they made where it was this is the grand conspiracy. Everybody's in Ralph's group chat, and they're plotting to like turn everybody against Josh.
Yes.
That was that was
that was the same guy who thought you were
that
Joey
was so
Beezer.
Badass.
That was the guy who thought you were Joey Beezer, and
that was amazing.
And it's just like it's one thing to say that there was a concerted effort to troll the Kina Casino thread. That's one thing. It's another thing to say that there's a site-wide plot to individually turn threads like this is like a operational combat strategy to turn each thread until eventually like the entire site revolts. It's just crazy because there's no connection between the Kino Casino thread people and anything to do with Jesse. Like Jesse has his own community. It's like very insular because they get banned off of everywhere and all that shit. And so his response is, I don't want to make just like too much work. And so rather than taking that as the thing like, okay, well, this is my chance to move off this topic, it's make time.
Do it, bitch.
Do it, bitch. Like, do it or else. Like, what the fuck? And again, remember, I'm not trying to start a beef. Also, make time to make a thread for him. Make a thread now. Do it. Like, what happened to this all? What happened to these things supposed to be organic? That when there's an interesting character online and they do funny stuff, the people who are naturally interested in it will go and make a thread if they want, so they can talk about that topic. No, it's direct orders from Pyongyang. Make time. Make the thread on this guy who made fun of me.
Do it, or it's a weak ban.
Sure, give me his docs. And this is going to age so poorly. This is going to age so poorly because, you know, there's this whole narrative about Kiwi Farm, especially coming from Josh, talking about like the ethics of doxing, phone booking, whatever, and how
phone booking now.
Yeah.
We have to change docs.
And Josh, you know, trying to make the argument that it's like, well, this isn't it's like a directed, organized campaign. It's just people talking about what they want to talk about. But this post right here goes against that narrative entirely. And the reason I really don't like it is because I like Kiwi Farms to stay around, like something like Kiwi Farms, just like a place to talk about internet drama and stuff. But you undercut any like ethical defense you have about this not just being your personal army, which is the biggest claim against Kiwi Farms from people who are online who can get over the whole politics stuff, is that it's not. But when you're saying, sure, give me his docs. Give me his docs so we can make a thread. Also, remember, not trying to start a beef, guys. Not going to start a beef.
Yeah, JC in chat says Josh thinks he's the Godfather. He thinks he's a mob boss.
Yeah, the Slav father.
You know, he's putting the hit out on Jesse.
Yeah, and then this guy pointed out, it's so funny because it was Josh's own policy to not use the word dox anymore. And so this guy's like, excuse me, but the term dox implies malicious intent. And of
that
course,
is funny.
Just as predicted, the minute he starts saying make a thread, do it, it's like now we're all talking about Jesse again. Like, great job. Good job.
What a dumbass.
Well, it's it says it's the alcohol talking. Like, there's no direct proof. Like, I can't point you to any super hard proof that he's drunk when he does stuff like that. I just fail. Like, I don't know how else to explain some of it because it comes.
Maybe that's why he's it's so hard for him to lose weight because he's just drinking like a fish.
Yeah, you know, it kind of like the puzzle. You can see the shape of the missing piece, and it feels like it might be that because there's some really old Maddies where he talks about his drinking habits, and he makes a really big deal of the idea that he used to sometimes drink on stream, but then when he saw what happened to Ralph, he stopped doing that, and then he never drinks, and there was like one stream where he had like a vodka or whatever, and then he's like, this is like a big deal. I don't do this. But
then he posted his favorite vodka.
Yeah, and it's like some freaking like Sobieski like ethanol type shit. Dude, there's some of that vodka like in Europe. The one I'm thinking of is Sobieski, where if you drink that, you literally it's you get a headache. It's like antifreeze, like immediately, not like the day after, but as you're drinking it. And that's like the kind of stuff he was posting. And if it just fits so many things. It's like the reflexive moderation, the weird sleeping hours, the falling into a non-set trap, stuff like that. And then we got more defense here. Beginning of the show where Jesse claimed that having heard more from anyone else, he didn't watch the whole show. Okay, so then why are you complaining about it? You're protesting too much. Just say you think that he's part of a plot, man. Like, you might as well at this point. Between the two of us, only one of us obsesses over who Null is friends with or not. Now, okay, what he's referring...
He doesn't have any friends. What the fuck is he talking about?
Great point.
Josh has no friends.
He has,
except for PPP, and like that's debatable.
Well, he has collaborators. He doesn't have friends. And that's the thing about collaborators, is like the knives come out the minute there's any pressure. And that's always what happens with him. What he's referring to here is that Lit Cigarette has a couple posts in the Kino Casino thread where when talking to Josh, having been prompted on the discussion about like the connection with Kino Casino, brought up examples of previous friendships and how they always blow up and he gets fisted. And he's using him just, citing his evidence, like making an argument to him being obsessed over all his friends or not, which is stupid. I don't believe in that dying sector W brain rot. What? A W doesn't happen because no, that is how it happens. Like this is what happens is both sides claim victory and it becomes increasingly apparent who's right immediately afterwards. This guy is kind of autistic. In other words, a gay chorus is just that. I'm sure we could say that about this site. Like we could say that about this thread, that you guys all coping and saying that these aren't funny messages is a gay chorus and that it doesn't reflect reality. I just don't know why you even put yourself out there with these defenses. Yes, he negs like he's a 2005 pickup artist student. What? The weirdest part is he does it to This is not about Jesse. This must be about someone else. Yeah, here we go. Sure, give me his doc. Not your personal RME gig. Good, great response. And like, look at some of this, because there was a post here saying that these are all Jesse heads and that there was a guy who said all their join dates are from like February of this year. This guy is from 2015. The other guy, who I said pointed out the hypocrisy about using the word docs, 2016. And you would think wouldn't be so thin-skinned. Yeah. And Mr. Higgers, Dr. Higgers here. You'd think the owner and operator of Kiwi Farms, of all people,
Nate Higgers?
Yes, Mr. Dr. Higgers. He's a very, very prominent poster. Wouldn't be so thin-skinned. But this is what I mean. I'm pointing out the joint dates here because like this narrative that it's all like Jesse socks or whatever, cult, it's just not true. The other thing that's I
don't know.
It's not directly related to this.
The thing with this is it's like it's so like obvious. Like, can they even clean this up? Like, what's the point of trying to clean this up?
Well,
it's we all just saw.
Well, the messages are just going to join the lexicon. Like the people who like laugh at Josh or make fun of him or whatever. Like these messages that I've never been a normal way. They're just gonna join the lexicon that people are gonna post back at him. The real question is, like, what's the second and third order consequences as far as him doing a segment on Jesse, number one. Number two, more pertinent to our interests, is Kino Casino going to talk about this at all? In any capacity? And if they do, is it just going to be the shit on Jesse hour? Because as we know, Worski doesn't burn a bridge unless he has to. So he pretends to be friends and knows everybody, including Jesse. So I don't know if there's going to be friction in there. People.
I tend to think they will not talk about it. One, because it's a Josh L. and it will embarrass Josh, and he probably doesn't want them to.
Yeah.
Two, because PPP I think feels the same way about Jesse that Josh does, where he's like, I don't even want to mention this guy. I don't want to. Well, not only the hate, but in the sense that, like, okay, this guy just wants attention. I'm going to win by not giving him attention, which Josh obviously failed at. And then, of course, Worski considers himself a friend with Jesse. And I think Jesse plays that up because if you notice, Jesse sometimes will poke, or at least during this stream, I don't really watch the other ones, but in this stream, he poked fun mostly at PPP.
Yeah.
He did the whoa buddy thing, but Worski's not going to really care about that. But he mostly poked fun when he was deliberate. He poked fun at PPP. So I think he does try and like play up that divide. I don't know. That's just kind of my theory.
I'm kind of hoping they talk about it because I want to see the mental gymnastics PPP has to perform to make it look like Jesse lost. Because he's gonna have to press every like preacher, scammer, snake button in his lexicon to somehow make it look like these messages are not like super cringe.
Well, that's why they won't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I'm wishful thinking. Related to that, though, I want to score a W here. So in this promo today, listen to what PPP says here. They're talking about Quarter Pounder and about their clips, right?
Like, what are you doing,
It's hard to not cover him when he's like, I'm broke, I can't pay people, I'm gonna fire
Black
everyone.
Bull.
The constant
Black
begging
TVB,
and
by
like
the way.
Boomer posting from
Authentic
quartering
Black
on
Bull.
the daily now, and now the
He wears
forces
this
are
shit on purpose. He's
coalescing.
such a psycho.
We have the legendary user return of the mac and cheese.
Isn't that weird that this is the first time they've
Wait,
ever specifically
hold on.
called out a specific kiwi farmer? I wonder why.
Wait. I can't hear it. Can you? I'm like talking on the stream. I can't listen to the stream. Can you?
I have the screen share up. Are you on that?
Yeah, that hasn't been working the whole time. I've just been watching on the YouTube. I thought we gave up on that.
Here, let me try.
I don't know why it's not working for you. Just share the whole fucking monitor.
I
Just
am.
share
I am.
the-
I literally have the whole thing. I have it
my
set to
God.
screen.
Okay, well, try the window. Try the. No, it's still not working.
Here, I just turned it on
It
again.
pops up when you click the when you click the little Discord settings. Those pop up, but it doesn't show the screen.
It should be a
It's
third
almost like,
window on there, like in the.
Oh, here we go. Wait, it's loading. There we go.
Okay, cool. Let me go back.
Except I
I'll
can hear
recall that.
myself now. Fuck.
Yeah, mute the stream, and just watch it through here.
No. I can hear myself through the Discord stream now.
Oh, good.
Now it's too good.
Yeah, now it's too good.
You fixed it too well.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you usually do this?
Okay, just try it how it was before. It's working now, so maybe it'll work again. Like
Okay. So I don't have audio.
I don't know. I keep hearing myself talk and I can't
Okay,
deal
hold
with
on.
this.
Hold on.
I don't know how people like listen to themselves on like live things.
Okay, what about now?
Test. Okay, there it is. All right, we're good. We're good, guys. We figured it out.
Okay. So listen to this. He's going to call out a very specific Kiwi Farms user.
Have the legendary user return of the mac and cheese there.
Oh, the king.
Okay, so return to the mac and cheese, and this is talking about quarter pounder.
Oh yes, you
Now-
said that.
yes.
you brought that
Yes.
up on the other stream.
So the last stream, I brought this up, and then I also posted in the Kino Casino thread yesterday. I said, also reminder that despite these ends whining about watching quartering each time, each of their quartering segments are literally just a collection of clips posted by Return of the Mac and Cheese in the Quarter Galaxy thread. I get everyone copies Kiwi Farms, but the LARP about listening and clipping is annoying when they literally just had the same clip he posted. So the next day after I post this, they call out this guy and stop trying to claim that they sit through Quarter Pounder. So we have confirmation that Kino Casino has
They watch
submitted to Dog Zero. They are one of my
Let's
2
go.
subscribers. Here we go. So now that we know that they're in the audience, we'll keep that in mind in the future. We'll have more photos of Sinead and all that.
Got him. Got that nigga.
And yeah. Well, I think
Who do you think watches? Is it Warski or is it PPP? Probably PPP.
yeah, no, it's definitely, there's as unreliable as a narrator as he is, there are some things that have come out of the whole Jub the Nub verse that I think are true, and one of them is that he watches
He
literally
watches all the
everything.
hater stuff. Yeah,
He watches literally everything. So
Well, he can't leave his fucking house, his apartment. So it's like, what else is the guy gonna do?
well, that's also
For
why he has
Christ's
to
sake.
take the clips from Q. And honestly, I don't have a problem. I mean, I do that like in the initial, like I'm not going to sit through iDub streams. I let people like collate the clips. I use Twitter or whatever. But what bothered me is that every single Quarter Galaxy segment, they're like, do you know how much my hands are bleeding watching this? It's so bad. And it's like, bro, dude, no one is that insane. Like you all use aggregators to like put this stuff together.
Well, on some of his intros, in the I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, a couple intros back, he was talking about how he has to get high all the time,
Well,
and
yeah.
guys, I'm drinking the weed seltzers. It's the only way I can watch this stuff. I got to get high. I can't.
Yeah, really
I can't
great
do it
stuff.
sober, man.
And then we get to hear about how RTU. You know what? I should have looked into this more, like when it happened. But do you know that whole narrative about RTU being drinking seltzers all the time? Literally, they just made up. Like, he is hot. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
RTU is
make up everything.
RTU is a weed head. But there was a good like year where every time he was drinking a drink, they'd say it's a seltzer. And if you look up the like can, it's just not. I mean, I'm just an idiot, but like,
he drank them a couple times,
Yeah.
and so they just started saying it. It's like, you know,
yeah, and it's like, well, then
like anything Worski drinks is wine. He's a cokehead, right? Anytime he moves his head, which with Worski it's true, but
yeah, every iDubbbz Bog segment, PPP always cries about how he has to watch it. Now, here's the thing. I actually do think he watches the Bog because the Bog is behind a paywall, and the only guy I know who clips the Bog is Beazle on Twitter. And I will say this. Yeah, and the thing is, Beazle gets banned every yeah, exactly. Follow the money.
trust the plan. Yeah.
And Beazle gets banned like every other week because they post clips of stuff that's behind a paywall. So whenever Beazle is up and posts the clips, they just use those. Whenever he's not, usually there's a single clip, or like last time or maybe 2 times ago, PPP was like, yeah, there was nothing salvageable. I didn't take anything. And it's like, oh yeah, that's because you were too busy getting high watching Dog Zero.
Yeah, he's just getting stoned watching
Watching
you talk about Muslims.
Yeah, exactly. Watching the Hadith of the Day.
Yeah,
Making sure
I'm gonna be honest, I can't even watch that. Like, I'm like, fuck, he's talking about Muslims again.
Yeah.
Turn off.
I'm trying to pioneer a new territory in the sector, which is bringing the religious spurgs into it. Eventually,
I wish you well.
eventually, I will reap a great crop from that. There will come a day where Ethan Ralph is outside Sam Shamoon's house with a picture of his wife, being like, "What's up, bitch?" And then I will be like, "My working stuff."
Now, I see that you have. Are you gonna continue playing this, or
No, that's all I got for Kino Casino and Josh stuff.
Now, I see that you have the Kino Casino thread open. Should we just look at Josh's last post where he
yes, very good point. Yeah,
explaining the differences between Worski's pedophilia and Destiny's pedophilia?
Yes, thank you for remembering that, because I posted. It wasn't just me. I won't take full credit for it, but I posted in here just asking, what is the material difference? Like, literally, what is the material difference between what Destiny is being accused? Well, I mean, he did, like, he admitted it, and what Worski did. And I tried to be like as non-inflammatory. I was just like, I just want to hear what anyone has to say about it. And I didn't ping Josh. I didn't do anything like that. And
oh man, that was like, yeah, when he showed up, it was just like, oh, here we go again.
Exactly.
And somebody was like, oh, you fucking ping Josh. And it's like, he wasn't even ping.
No,
he just shows up anytime anybody says anything about him.
Yeah, and it's like when
or he thinks is like aimed at him.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. That's what I mean by like the paranoia. It's I just asked like the thread in general. I was just like, which okay, it's back further than this. I was just like, what do we think? What chat? What do you think about, like, what is the actual difference here? Because I mean, to my mind, at least, just on its face, it's almost literally the exact same claim. Here it is. And it isn't. And he kind of shows the ball here a little bit, where he basically said, like, the only substantive argument in this is just you guys annoyed me and presented it wrong, therefore it's different. So here is people saying, notice that he responds to the one that's positive to him, saying, like, uneducated retards reacting to the Destiny feature call. Oh, no, this isn't positive. Sorry, this is making fun of him. Saying, it's just pointing out the double standard here about how, obviously back when Josh was coping, he like died on Hebephilia Hill, right? And people are like, how could people call Destiny a pedo when our own admin said that he's not?
Not technically a pedo. It's hebephilia. They're teenagers.
Since you tagged me in and are basically again, can we see if this guy actually tagged him? Because I didn't. Because I made a post like this where I just said, "Hey, what do people think?" And I don't remember tagging him.
Well, click on the.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking. No. Look at this. Oh wait, no. Here it is. Here it is. Here's the tag. It's not Null's responsibility to bring down. So he did. So he did tag him. But again, you don't have to respond. And in fact, probably is the best thing to do because anything you say is just going to sound retarded.
No, if you tag me, I have to respond. I have to respond, Dog Zero.
Do not redeem. Andy Worski allegedly Snapchatted a girl. Well, it's not really a legend anymore. That was either 16 or 17 and a half decade old. This doesn't matter. The
15.
age doesn't matter. Yeah, well, that exactly. I mean, the cope is that she was 17 or she was 15 lying and saying she's 17, but in any case, like under 18
That
is
makes it better,
established.
right?
Yeah, under 18 is established. So, and that's all we have with Destiny, right? Because Destiny, we know she's 17. It's good enough for him, right? Okay. So in half decade old logs, doesn't matter. Now, this would matter in like a standards of evidence sense, but again, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about like holistically, like all the circumstantial evidence and also like reevaluation of evidence that has been preserved. Okay. And IBS drama is to be, well, this is drama with Destiny. How is the drama with like the drama sphere around Destiny any more or less affects it than IBS? Assuming this is true, Andy Worski and Destiny did very similar things. Therefore, to not be a hypocrite, anything I say about Destiny must also be true about Andy Worski and vice versa. I said Andy Worski is not a pedophile. I said Destiny is not a pedophile. Incredible. So we had two directions to go with this, realistically. It's either, hey, you guys are right. There is too much, there is like a clear comparison here, and I've called Destiny a pedophile. So, no, we're going in the defend Destiny. Josh would rather defend Destiny than drop Worski. Think about that.
Oh, man.
Like, given the choice of having to drop the hot potato, he would rather defend Destiny. I said that calling Andy Worski a pedophile for having sex with a teenager is a disgrace. Ah, well, at least we have someone here to defend the sanctity of the crime of child exploitation. I said the exact same thing about Destiny and Destiny's thread. I condemned Andy Worski being a stupid gooner trying to barely is gross and stupid. I said the same. Okay, so Destiny's just gross and stupid. Okay. I did not and have not taken any action in either thread against people calling Andy. Okay, but what about Jim? You did take action in the Gem thread. Not only did you take action in the Gem thread, you did it without providing logs. You were stealth deleting people. That's a whole nother thing. So that's like a third. He doesn't bring that up because it completely is hypocritical to this. I took an extremely contrarian position consistent with what I believe in both threads and got angry replies in both threads. So you admit that not thinking Worski's a pedo is extremely contrarian.
Isn't that worse that he's saying it's guys, it's not that he's saying all this to sweep for Worski. He's saying all this because he actually believes it.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just going to put that. It's like you only defend a contrarian belief when you believe it on principle. Like it means that he believes, heart of hearts, on principle, that both Destiny and Worski are not pedos, and so he is willing to take a contrarian position. But here's the problem I have with him saying that, is he tries to portray the criticism of Worski and in this thread as astroturfed, as gay ops. He literally said that in here, that it's a gay op and that it's all planned and stuff. So you're telling me the majority position is a gay op? No, that just sounds like the position of the community, in which case, why are you mad that people are like advocating for it? What exactly?
Anything I don't agree with is a gay op. It's a gay op.
It's a gay op, but it's also contrarian. If anything, this is a fantastic example of how incredibly consistent I am. That's not the own you think it is. Yes, you are consistently wrong about this one topic. This one...
defending pedophiles.
Yeah,
like,
great.
What an asshole.
You put him on the stand. It's like we're trying to convince somebody that this guy is maybe sympathetic to these sorts of people, and he's incredibly consistent about it. I am on this regardless of the popularity on the subject. Congrats. I thought that you were the one taking the true popular position and that the other one was just gay ops. Again, like, which is it? Are you literally bitching about me not featuring it? Is your grievance actually just that? Did he say that? I don't think he said that. I don't think people are mad because I made sure not to say that because I knew he would say this. I knew that this would be because, like I said, there's drama happening with the features. So literally all I said was, what is the material difference between the Destiny and Worski situation? I did not bring up anything about features, what should be featured, what shouldn't, because I know that that's going to be the red herring, because then we talk about that. You didn't get extra special attention, let's be petty. Destiny's drama is ongoing. IBS has been dead. Yeah, but Kino Casino's not dead, and Worski's not dead. Worski is more is bigger than he's ever been. So that's
Worski's not dead, unfortunately, guys.
Destiny, yeah.
One of these days.
He'll put the medallion on. Destiny's newest information came out yesterday. The Snapchat logs are so old that the girl involved is in the mid-20s now. Bro, okay. My issue with this whole it's old thing, as part of this whole Destiny drama,
It's old. It's a 10-year-old. That pisses me off the most. It's like, oh, well, Jeffrey Epstein shouldn't have been held to account because he raped a bunch of kids 10 years. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, just because a crime is old does not affect the morality of said crime.
Well, and also, I'm
the right
seeing,
or
like,
wrong.
Nicholas and H3 fight over Destiny clips where he talks about age of consent and he talks about all this gross stuff from 15 years ago, 2012. They're talking about clips that relate to this drama. So this idea that just because the parts of it, like the Snapchat leaks themselves, are old, like it doesn't even work when you compare it to this specific Destiny shit.
Yeah.
Because people are litigating clips from 15 years ago with Destiny. Destiny is involved in litigation. Andy Worski is not. Didn't know this was a law for him. The litigation doesn't matter at all. Isn't that the whole idea of this? Is that we're just like gossiping, talking shit on the internet? This isn't like, that doesn't matter at all. Destiny's newest information can conceivably impact his ongoing litigation, create more. Literally the only ramification of Andy Worski's drama is how loudly you're bitching at me if I appear. Yeah, I wonder why the ramifications are less. Maybe it's because you're in here rewriting history with your Cope love letter and fighting in the thread about hebophilia versus ephebophilia. If there have not been ramifications to the revelation that Andy Worski was sexting someone who was underage, you are a big reason why. So bringing that up is a self-felt. Destiny has an audience of hundreds of thousands of people and has been invited to the White House. Andy Worski is a cokehead Canadian with the audience of 4,000.
The White House.
Oh my God. Again, I thought that this was just supposed to be talking about like silly internet micro celebrities. So what, is that the standard now? Is to get featured, you have to be at Destiny level? Isn't that directly oppositional to your whole idea of this, old internet, smaller type stuff? Not only that, but again, Worski's like
the White House.
Bigger than he. Yeah, he has this thing about the White House.
Enough. The White House.
Destiny A-Logs created extremely
House.
Clear and concise evidence of what they wanted featured and asked for it to be featured by tagging me. Your immediately go-to was attack me. No, the first person to post about the Snapchat leaks was your own mod, Autistic Right. And he made 2 posts that were well-organized, good write-ups, disproving all of the claims one by one about how it could be fake. He then even made a summary post summarizing those posts to make it even easier for your subtard IQ to read. So if you're going to shit talk the thread for presenting this argument,
can I just say, I used to shit talk Autistic Right. I used to think he was a faggot. I take that back. Autistic Right is a king. I totally support him 100%. Godspeed, Autistic Right.
Yeah, no, he's having a full arc here, and he even himself he defended I don't think it was after this one, but it was before. He was just saying no, dude, it was presented to you concisely. So, but the problem is you can't make this argument that it was presented poorly without shitting on your own mod. So this is bullshit. Now I'll be real. In the Destiny thread, as compared to some threads, they do a good job of putting everything together, and it's because there's a super A-log in there. That's fine. But there is a post in here. There's at least 2 posts that are full summary posts that link back to other ones, are very well organized, are fine. So yes, you're annoying. Your drama sucks. I don't give a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. I didn't feature it. So here's the question, Josh, and this is a tough one for him to answer. Did you know that the reason why Josh added community-driven happenings is because he didn't want it to be claimed that the community or that the features were editorializing and therefore make him able to be censored by or sued by Section 230, whatever it's called? That was his whole worry. He hit the ball really well about this in some areas, but he talked about it a little bit too much on Maddie and on the website. Basically, the way the features used to work is it was just whatever he wanted. And then, back during the Drop Kiwi Farm stuff, an argument got presented that, wait a minute, isn't the features list in editorializing? And if it's editorializing, therefore, it means that it could be claims that could be sued over. Because if you in the features say, X and X is a pedo, is whatever, blah, 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 those are defamatory claims, and they're not protected by Section 230. because it's an editorial decision. So he turned the community happenings into, or the features into a community happenings. So it's not him, it's not his opinion, it's not him writing the features, it's the community, it's community user content, which is protected by Section 230. The problem is, if you're going to come here and say, I don't give a fuck, and therefore it doesn't get a feature, you are undermining that entire argument. You are now saying that the features are your editorial decision alone, and not community user content, which is protected by Section 230. So it's like, it's just a classic example of him like shooting his foot despite his face. Like he just, I didn't feature it when it was just happening. I'm not featuring it. I should say the site is not featuring it now. And if I want to show up and talk to PP again or whatever, I'm going, yeah, obviously, like no one can stop you. And great response. So many words just to cope over your gayness for a fat Canadian. Apologize for the tag. It's the lost cause.
No,
Yeah.
just instantly destroyed, instantly raped.
They're all valid points, and I'm completely right. You tried to force me to participate in your gay op, and you failed, buddy.
You tried to force me. He says that every fucking
You're
time.
participating.
It's like, dude,
If this, okay,
get over it, Josh.
if this was a gay op, what would the goal be? The goal would be to get you to fight to cause fissures in the thread, which is what you're doing. So if this was some kind of gay op, and me and the Grill Cast and Kiwi Andy are in a secret chat, being like, hey, can you make this obvious argument that these two things are the same? Because obviously you need that sort of direction. It can't just happen like to the people who are in this thread. This would have been the goal, and you did it. It's just ridiculous.
And they're all, don't forget, we're all in the group chat. It's Ralph's group chat that we're in.
Yeah, exactly.
That we're
Totally.
conspiring in.
Well, that's what I don't know. That's how especially like the newcomer, because the thing is, the new people who are like in the Ralph subforum, especially like all the old people in the Ralph subforum have mostly aged out, because honestly, like the golden age of Ralph stuff is over. He's just sort of doing his own thing now. Occasionally something Kino will happen and it's worth looking at, like the Columbia trip or whatever. But generally, just the fervor, like the stupidity, it's just gone really. So the only new people that are there are looking at the past stuff and using that to inform the things now. And so they think it's this like internet war, when really it's just not.
You know, I think that Josh doing the, you can't force me is like the death throes of him trying to maintain control, right? Because he's saying, no, I'm in control. You think you're in control, I'm in control, because I'm not going to do it. Me, and it's just like, Josh, like you in a foolish attempt to keep this idea that you're in control, you put yourself, you back yourself into these corners. And I remember when he made the like when people were still somewhat on his side in the Kino Casino thread, and they were like, Josh, like right after he made that like essay on PPP, and people were like, Josh, don't you see how like you always do this? Like your association with these people always like fucks it up, but it fucks it up for you. Like Dick Masterson, Ralph, now PPP, probably some other people, but it's just like, it's like if he would just stop trying to control everything, I think his decision making would be so much better.
Well, if he had just a coherent set of rules,
he can't help it.
He just had a coherent set of rules and policies, and then let mods like do it, and then his only job is to like discipline the mods. Essentially, it would cause so much less stress. But he sees it as his like property, his ownership. I mean, it is the server, like the site is his property, but you know what I mean. Like it's his thing to control.
He can't do that because the site isn't actually here for like being a locale encyclopedia. The site is there to Janny for him, so of course he has to
increasingly,
he has to take control, assume control, like control. The in Mass Effect.
I know you feel
Mass
this,
Effect
Shepard.
assuming control.
I like this post from Lit Cigarette where this guy just totally crazy says Destiny's thread and this thread were treated very similarly. He's like, I don't remember Null ever changing all the font in Destiny's thread into giant red text to make it less legible, or banning people for cheese posts. It's like, come on, man. There's a completely different story. And then this guy, what is this argument? Wow, when you piss in someone's mouth, they don't tend to like you very much. So what is this? Is this guy like, so he's just a child? Is if you don't like the people he doesn't want you to, then he could just chimp out and shit everything up?
You're a fucking N cattle. Goy.
No.
I'm not gonna do what you tell me.
No, dude, but PvP gave him a totally real and true apology after he realized that he needed to court the Kiwi audience. They're best friends now, and people wouldn't just snake him as soon as it suits his interests. That would never happen. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's all right. Is there anything else?
I don't know. I think that about does it.
Yeah, I think
now, I suppose one last thing before I head out, and thank you for having me on here. I really have actually been wanting to talk about the Josh stuff because this is really the year of Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, I think you are right. I think Josh is going to get lolcal of the year. The casino, they've been keeping the show going. They've kept it together. They've had a couple of things here and there, but Josh has just been losing it left and right. And this was supposed to be the year of Josh in a good way.
Yeah.
He quote unquote came back to America as he claims. He's losing all this weight, but nothing's changing for him. It's business as usual.
Yeah, and I think
Spurg here, Spurg there, Spurg everywhere.
Once the thread goes up for locale of the year, I'm going to do a campaign. I'm setting as my sort of baseline goal just to get him in the nominations. Because he's not going to, if he gets the nominations, he's not going to win the vote just because of the way the site is. But just to have him on the ballot would be hilarious. And he'd get so fucking mad. But I think there's a legitimate argument for it. I'll put the post together and everything and be like, guys, look at this, compare it to, because they're going to put some stinkers on there. I know. Compare it to some of the people who don't deserve to be here, and let's go. Is Josh going to win every award for the Golden Guns this year? I miss the Golden Guns. The Golden Guns is my favorite part of any of that old, PvP. So we should revive the Golden... I mean, they're not using it. We should revive the Golden Guns and just have everybody call in. I'll come up with the awards and everything. Risking the banhammer? No, I'm going to be very respectful about it. I'm just going to be like, look, here's why he deserves to be in the nominations. Let's apply the same logic we do. I'm not going to be inflammatory. You don't have to be. But I think that's everything for today. I have the Savant, but I was just going to... There's apparently some show they're making about a lady who... is looking into far right stuff, but they have no idea what they're talking about. It's based off this article that's really funny, but I'll probably save that maybe for the end of the thing on Friday. But hype for Friday. The greatest author of the 21st century is Four Things. We're going to be covering it. A lot of people have been guessing who this author is, but the problem is you guys are all uneducated. You're all illiterate, just like me. You don't know who it is, but we're going to show you the real Kino. I'm going to explain to you exactly why he got to where he is and how his writing style, his fabulism is so powerful that he is able to take fantasy in the written word and project it into the real world and warp reality itself.